How many of those guys want to go back to school? What's his name? Linebacker at Clemson back in the 80s. Played with the Steelers. Big black dude. I'll think of his name here in a minute. After he got done playing in the NFL, he went back to Clemson, I guess 6 years ago now, finished up his degree, and works at Clemson now helping kids not make the same mistakes he did. You know, he wishes he had stayed that final year and graduated because, you know, he said, I didn't realize how good of his NFL career I was going to have. I felt like I had to go then. But a lot of these guys don't go back. Deion Sanders never went back.
Yep. And there's only so many jobs as an analyst you can get.
Right.
And there's very few jobs. There's more jobs as a play-by-play person or a lead commentator. And I'm forgetting.
But you got to learn how to speak.
I think it's J.C. Pearson who works for Fox. He played in the NFL, got his degree, and is now a lead. He's not an analyst. He's a lead commentator. A white guy, Terry Gannon from NC State. Played on a championship team, and now he's a lead commentator for
Rich was trying to come back in.
ESPN and Golf Network.
Right.
You take a look at these guys. There are more opportunities to be a lead commentator and a play-by-play person rather than an analyst.
Just going back on giving your nephew a book rather than letting him sit there and watch a game. You don't. It's a tough day and age to where you can keep him from doing that, to keep him from watching a game, keep him from idolizing athletes. Show him the right athlete.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Spike Lee directed the Black Magic thing about the basketball, like the guys who were breaking into basketball, the black guys back in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Spike Lee directed that, but there's guys on there, you can tell the difference. Guys on there that did it the right way, and there's guys on there that did it the wrong way. You have guys like Perry Wallace who played at Vanderbilt. Who may not have been the greatest athlete. First black basketball player at Vanderbilt, is a prominent lawyer. You
want to show him Len Elmore.
Yeah, you have.
He has like a Harvard law degree.
Yep. And then you have guys like Pee Wee Kirkland.
Right.
Who had all the talent in the universe and got caught up in this and that and ended up dealing crack, going to prison.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at different sides of the spectrum. Show them a Vince Carter. Don't show them...
Show them all and show them this is the right way to do things, this is the wrong way to do it. Show them a Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal told his mama, told his grandmama, he was going to get his college degree.
And now he's working on his PhD. He's already got his master's. He's got his bachelor's. He's working on his PhD. You know, you go, look, here's Shaquille O'Neal. Here's Allen Iverson. Here's Vince Carter. Here's, I want to say Starberry. Stephon Marbury.
Here's a Grant Hill.
Right.
There's for as many bad examples that ESPN or the sports media may put up on a platform because they're the better athletes, there are tons and tons of good ones who are just as good. Dwayne Wade, Darren Williams, Chris Paul. These are all top 10 players in the NBA. But yet you want to put a focus on Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis, people
who can't speak English, who are tatted up from head to toe, which obviously I don't have a problem with tattoos. But again, it comes back to picking the right role model for your kid.
And even if there's not enough athletes out there, Barack Obama, he's the president. You got Colin Powell. There's so many people.
There are tons of.
I'm not saying that I'm necessarily a fan of these people.
No, it's not even a matter of. You don't even have to be a fan of the person.
Correct.
And this is the same thing that we don't talk politics on the show or in our circle, but this is the same thing where I get upset where I know tons of people who are Republicans because their father's Republican grow your own opinions, learn, take everything in, and then make your own opinions. There's no bad thing if you have too much knowledge.
Right.
If you can form your own opinion.
And God forbid your nephew see you reading a book.
Yeah.
God forbid your nephew see you doing something productive.
If before you go to sleep at night you don't watch Jimmy Fallon or Craig Ferguson or Leno or something like that, let's say
you watch Family Guy instead.
You read a book.
Right.
Or watch a History Channel every once in a while. It doesn't always have to be, hey, every Thursday night. Yeah, every Thursday night you may watch the NBA on TNT game, but hey, Wednesday night, let's watch something on History Channel or something like that.
And
there may be in a compelling series.
When you instill that at them at a young age, they'll start thinking for themselves.
Earlier.
They'll start having opinions. They'll start doing the things that they need to do to be successful. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, you don't want. What's the worst that can come of this? You have kids who can form their own opinions, who are socially competent, and who have drive and motivation.
Yep.
It's no other thing other than laziness, and I understand.
And high self-esteem, God forbid.
Yeah, I understand that you work 2-3 jobs, and you know what? Let your kid see that, and let your kid also see that you are going the extra mile to make sure that they don't have to work the 2-3 jobs, that they can get that one job. They can make over $100,000 a year, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, male, or female.
Yep.
And athletics is always going to be the great equalizer. They say, you know what? You may not be as tall. You may not be as fast. You may not be this, that, or the other. But if you have a skill in life, and if you are dedicated to being great at that skill, you will be great at it.
The only show I have ever seen, a black show that I've seen, was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did a show with the guy that is on. He's on one of Tyler Perry's shows now, the first one, not Meet the Browns, but the original.
Oh yeah.
House of Pain.
House of Pain. He played the nephew or the son in there, the curly hair one. He was on an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where they were playing basketball against each other, and he was from Malibu High School, and he said it. Basketball, I probably won't make it to the pros, but basketball is going to help me become a doctor, become a lawyer, to get my kid out of the same situation I'm in now. I have never seen another black run, and even BET doesn't have shows like that.
They air the game.
It deals with the typical things that black people get pissed off when you associate with them. But when your TV shows aimed at you are filmed and based on those things, how can you get mad at somebody else for making that same assumption? I've yet to see a TV show what Chili wants. Who gives a crap what she wants?
Change the culture, and then,
Right, exactly.
And even what Chili, she plays it up like she's like that's not who she really is, but yet she's playing into the stereotype.
Right.
Get something to learn from. Don't get something where you're following around Nicki Minaj for a week.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that, and also, you know what? I understand that a lot of kids, black and white, want to be professional athletes and stuff like that, but there comes a point, and I realized this point my junior year of high school, you're not good enough. You may think, you may hope, but you're not good enough. So find something else and take that drive and the dedication that you learned and apply it to something else.
The only thing that the NCAA that they've done great to me is
those commercials.
Those commercials they've put out the last year and a half where they say we're going professional and stuff. I mean, we all kind of make fun of it, but that's absolutely true. 0.5% of high school athletes make it professionally. That's not very good. It's just not. The other issue that really, and I think they touched on it. I don't remember if I heard it there. I've heard Spike Lee talking about some other point. Was he was talking about how baseball is racist.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
The MLB has all their inner city programs. They
actually do the most.
I can say I coached at an all black high school for 4 years. It was hard for us to field a baseball team.
They don't want to play. It's too much time.
It's considered a rich sport, and their parents don't want to put the investment into it.
And you need a lot of money to play it. And I mean, it's the same thing as why soccer is the most popular sport worldwide. What do you need?
A ball.
A ball.
Yep.
With baseball, what do you need? Bats, balls, gloves, a massive space, cleats, and stuff like that. You can't play. You can play a game of soccer in a smaller area and adapt. You can play half-court basketball if a half-court's the only thing you have. You could play football in a short field, but you can't play baseball in a short field.
Yep.
You need a full-size area. You need the bats. You need the balls. You need the gloves. And you need, if you want to play less numbers, you need close to 10 to 14 to 18 guys to play a game of baseball. It's a whole lot of work to do it.
My question to Spike Lee would be, okay, if baseball is so racist, then why is it 90% of baseball teams at HBCUs are filled with white guys? Why? If you just have this abundance of black baseball players ready to go play baseball, why is it HBCUs have to field baseball teams with white people?
And
it's not one or two positions. Look at Savannah State. They have 2 black guys on a team of 25.
That's not the only sport that it's true for.
And Spike Lee, you have the money. If you believe baseball is so racist, why don't you change it? I don't see you putting your money. You go to Yankee game, but you're sitting the suite. I don't see you putting money towards starting youth baseball league in predominantly black areas.
But he only mentions baseball.
No. Yeah.
He only mentions baseball. When
Yep.
there's tons of sports that they're the same exact. My stepdad was offered a spot on the North Carolina A&T tennis team in the 70s, all black school.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the people that play these, like he's only mentioning it because it's high income.
Yeah.
He wants these people to make money, not to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
He wants them to excel, to make money, to make black people look better.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what they want to
Yeah.
do.
Why not put lacrosse on that?
You don't see that. You don't see tennis when probably the most idolized tennis player of all time is black.
Yep. Male and female.
I got $20 says that Spike Lee couldn't even tell you his name or how he died.
Arthur Ashe. You have golf players. Say what you want about Tiger Woods now. He was the most dominant golfer.
He still is. I don't care what anybody tells me. That he's still the best golfer in the world.
He'll go down as the best golfer of all time. That's all you have to say.
And yet you see like a short influx of black kids. Hey, this golf thing is pretty cool, but nobody takes the effort.
Yep.
You don't always need to live in an area where you have driving ranges, where you have full golf courses. Start them off in putt-putt. Stuff like that. There are ways around to build a foundation and then build it up.
Yep.
You don't always have to go top level at the very start.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize that unless you're playing in the top tier.
You know how I learned to play golf? This is the only thing I remember from my sperm donor other than he drank alcohol is he used to go put cups down around the house, and I just have a putter, and I just put into the cup.
Yep.
Go around furniture, through for whatever.
Yep, that's
whatever.
what I used to do.
That's how I learned to play golf. I didn't need a
driving range, a country club.
right. I didn't need a 5,000 yard, 72 par golf course to go play at.
And it's also letting your kids do what they want to do.
Yes.
I come across a lot of people that parents are pushing them. We're gonna have a Major League Baseball. Let them do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah, and with my kids getting involved in sports now in Cobb County, it's brutal.
Yeah, you meet those.
My nephew plays baseball in Cobb County, and he's probably, and I don't say this because he's my nephew. I say it because at 5 years old, he was on the 7-year-old traveling team out of East Cobb. He's one of the better young baseball players in this county, and the parent and my brother-in-law is not pushing him. He's just, if you want to play baseball, let's go play baseball. If you want to go play football, cool. If you want to go play basketball, you do what you want to do.
If you want to be a scientist, sit at home. I'll get you a chemistry set. Just don't build meth.
And it's you go to these games and you see like a kid strikes out, and these parents at 5 and 6 years old are just berating their kids, and I've never understood that. I don't need to live vicariously through my kid. I know I wasn't good enough to make it to the big dance. I know what it takes to get there, and if my kid wants to pursue that avenue, I'll help him and give him the tools he needs, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be talented enough to make it.
Yeah.
And all that pushing does is create pressure, and it's going to create a failure.
And it pushes them away from you.
In the long run, it'll create a failure, and you'll be adding to those statistics about how many people have had that talent and have failed at it. It's just...
As somebody told me a while ago, in the major leagues, you're riding planes. In AAA, you have a coach bus. In AA, you'll be lucky if you have an old decommissioned Greyhound. In single A, you're riding a school bus, and when you're not playing, you need a real job.
Yep.
And is that something you really want in life? And at that point, it's okay.
Yeah.
You make your decision off of that. And there are avenues.
Because 99% of baseball players start out at single A.
Yep.
It's very rare that some guy gets drafted and makes it.
Jason Hayward started in single A. If you want to believe that you're going to start in double A, not going to happen.
No. You're going to be your meal money. You save up your meal money to afford a nice dinner at Applebee's.
Yep.
Because you know what? If you want a day-to-day meal, is Wendy's, is McDonald's, is
ramen.
Hey, let's splurge a little bit. Guys, there's a Zaxby's.
Yeah.
That's what it is when you're in single A.
We all pitch in. We can get that thing large sized and each have an extra nugget.
It looks really good when you're playing for your fancy travel team or your high school team, and when you're on the road and for an extended period of time, they give